Welcome to this explainer. Today we're looking at news that has just sent absolute shockwaves across the globe. The worldwide mountaineering community is really mourning an unimaginable loss right now. We're talking about the legendary 43-year-old Nepali British climber Nirmal Purja, though millions of us know him affectionately as simply Nimsdai. His sudden passing is frankly the heartbreaking end of an era for modern high-altitude climbing. It silences one of the most charismatic, trailblazing, and literally fearless voices we've ever seen in the world of exploration. So today we're going to walk through the tragic circumstances of his final expedition, but more importantly, we really want to celebrate the monumental, history-making legacy he leaves behind.
Just 3 days before disaster struck, Nimsdai posted these powerful, chilling final words on social media. He wrote, "Broad Peak, I ask for nothing but safe passage up and back down. I take 0 mountains for granted, not one." You can just hear it, right? He was fully aware of the fickle, unforgiving nature of the high mountains. He knew the risks better than anyone. Okay, let's dive into this heartbreaking reality of the death zone and look at exactly what happened on that fateful day.
Section 1. The tragedy on Broad Peak and the disaster in the Karakoram. Now, for some context, Broad Peak is an absolute behemoth. It's the world's 12th highest mountain, located in Pakistan's deeply unforgiving Karakoram range.
So here's how things unfolded. Broad Peak is an environment where conditions can turn deadly in a matter of seconds. On Thursday, Nimsdai and his 10-member international expedition team were making a crucial summit push right near 7,000 meters. That's roughly 23,000 feet up in the air. But then, right at 9 a.m. local time, tracking data and GPS signals recorded this sharp, sudden drop in altitude. An unexpected, massive avalanche had caught the team, sweeping them hundreds of meters down the mountain in a terrifying wall of snow. Immediate search and rescue operations were launched by the authorities and the military, but severe weather and high winds severely hampered those efforts through Friday. Then, finally on Saturday, the heartbreaking confirmation came through.
So the crucial point is, we want to respectfully honor all the victims confirmed by his company, Elite Exped. This was a tragedy on a truly international scale. Alongside Nimsdai, the mountain claimed his trusted Nepali guides and climbing partners, Pur Bahadur Gurung, who is known as Yukta, and Nima Sherpa. The avalanche also took the lives of international climbers, including American mountaineer Mallory Geis and Omani trailblazer Nadira Ahmed Abdullah Al-Harthi. It's just a staggering, devastating loss for the entire international climbing community.
Section 2. From Gurkha to Elite Mountaineer, Forged in Service. To really grasp the magnitude of this loss, we have to look back at his awe-inspiring life, starting all the way back from his birth in Nepal's Myagdi district. And this brilliantly illustrates the two lives of Nimsdai. You see, he wasn't born into elite mountaineering. His initial path was all about fierce military dedication. He spent 16 years in the British Armed Forces, and he actually broke massive barriers as the first Gurkha ever to join the elite UK Special Boat Service. That intense military discipline, that tactical mindset, it became the absolute bedrock for his superhuman mountaineering career.
Section 3. Shattering human limitations, redefining the impossible. When Nimsdai left the military to pursue climbing full-time, he didn't just want to summit peaks. He was on a quest to completely rewrite the record books.
14. That massive number represents all of the world's 8,000ers, mountains towering above 8,000 meters, that he aimed to summit in a single sweep. In 2019, he captured global attention by launching Project Possible. The goal was considered totally unthinkable by experts, but he absolutely captured the world's imagination, and this epic journey was later immortalized in the massive 2021 hit Netflix documentary, 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible.
And here is the truly mind-bending part of that achievement: 6. That represents the 6 months and 6 days it took him to achieve this. To put that into perspective, the previous world record for completing this monumental task was over 7 years. He didn't just beat the record, he absolutely shattered it, redefining human limitations in a way the mountaineering world had quite literally never witnessed before.
He was just always pushing the absolute limits. During that incredible run, he set speed records on Everest, K2, and Kanchenjunga. And then in January 2021, he was a key leader of the historic team that achieved the first ever winter summit of K2, the world's second highest and notoriously most difficult peak. But what truly defines his character isn't just those fierce record-breaking physical feats, it's his deeply compassionate nature. He threw personal ego out the window, frequently risking his own life and even sacrificing his own precious oxygen to save stranded climbers on incredibly dangerous slopes like Everest and Annapurna.
Section 4. A legacy beyond the peaks, changing mountaineering culture. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on how his footprint changed the actual culture of global climbing.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that his ultimate mission was always bigger than himself. By founding Elite Exped and establishing the Nimsdai Foundation, he championed the unsung heroes of the mountains. He fought tirelessly to elevate the Sherpa guides, who are the absolute backbone of Himalayan climbing. He demanded safety, respect, and global recognition for indigenous high-altitude workers. He wanted the world to know their names and celebrate their incredible strength.
Since the news broke, the global outpouring of grief has been just immense. World leaders, the UK military community, fans, and fellow adventurers have all been paying tribute. British adventurer Bear Grylls really hit the nail on the head when he called Nimsdai a remarkable and unique man. And that's what everyone is saying. They're praising his fierce patriotism, his incredibly infectious optimism, and his sheer refusal to accept human limitations.
We see this beautifully summarized in this really powerful tribute from Nepal's Prime Minister Baladering Shah, who stated, "Only the physical journeys have come to an end. The legacy of their courage, dedication, and contributions will forever remain alive and inspiring." It perfectly encapsulates the monumental impact Nimsdai and his team left on his home nation of Nepal and, honestly, the entire world.
We'll wrap up our explainer today with this thought. Nimsdai's final expedition on Broad Peak was actually part of an ongoing drive to push boundaries even further. He was aiming to complete a second round of all 14 8,000ers. But as he reminded us in his final message, he took 0 mountains for granted. As the global climbing community mourns this devastating loss, how will Nimsdai's philosophy of unshakable resilience and his deep respect for the death zone inspire the next generation of adventurers? His physical journey might be over, but his legacy is forever carved into the ice of the world's highest places. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.